Life is speaking to you right now, in ways you have been trained to ignore. Every number that repeats, every chance encounter, every sudden insight, these are not accidents. They are the universe sending messages in a language most people never learn to read. And yet, these signals are everywhere, quietly orchestrating your path, guiding you toward the people, opportunities, and realizations you need. The secret is simple. Synchronicity is real, meaningful, and decodable, if you know how to listen. Think back to a moment when something coincidentally aligned perfectly. You ran into the exact person you needed at the exact time. A book fell into your lap that answered a burning question, or a repeated number made you pause and wonder. Did you notice? Most people shrug these moments off as chance, but Carl Jung, who first defined synchronicity, described them as meaningful coincidences, moments where your inner state resonates with outer events. These are not random, they are signposts, threads connecting your consciousness to the invisible structure of reality. Science, surprisingly, has begun to catch up to what mystics have known for millennia. Quantum entanglement shows that particles separated by space still respond instantly to changes in one another. These non-local connections suggest a universe deeply interconnected, where everything influences everything else. Consciousness itself may not just observe reality, it may participate in its unfolding. Jacobo Grinberg, a neuroscientist and mystic, studied how human perception interacts with these fields of energy, hinting that the patterns of synchronicity are detectable when the mind tunes in with awareness. Yet the modern world systematically trains us to ignore these signals. From a young age, we are taught to rationalize, plan, and control, while the subtle whispers of intuition and pattern go unnoticed. Repeated numbers become just numbers. Sudden insights become random thoughts. The synchronicities that could guide, illuminate, and accelerate our growth are filtered out by our own conditioned minds. But they never stop coming. The universe is constantly speaking. The question is, are you listening? This is why most people never fully harness the hidden intelligence guiding their lives. They chase results, grind for outcomes, and try to force alignment in a linear, mechanical way, unaware that the universe already responds to the vibrational language they broadcast. Synchronicity is not about luck. It is about alignment, attention, and resonance. When your internal state harmonizes with the field of possibility, meaningful coincidences appear, weaving your life into patterns that can feel miraculous, yet are scientifically consistent with the principles of interconnected consciousness. Here's a subtle truth. Synchronicity often emerges in the void, the empty, uncertain moments of life that feel uncomfortable, slow, or unproductive. That pause, that delay, that moment of waiting is not absence. It is a signal. It is the universe inviting you to tune in, to notice the hidden patterns, to align your attention with the intelligence that already permeates everything. Michael Talbot, in The Holographic Universe, described reality as a seamless field, where every point contains the whole. In that sense, synchronicities are not random flashes. They are encoded guidance, waiting for the conscious observer to decode and act upon. Practical manifestation of this begins with awareness. Start observing without judgment. Keep a journal of repeated numbers, chance encounters, sudden insights, and moments that seem too perfect to be coincidence. Don't analyze or force meaning, simply record. This is the first step in decoding the secret language of the universe, noticing the signal before the noise swallows it. Each observation strengthens your ability to read patterns, heightening your sensitivity to the intelligence flowing through life. And here is the fascinating bridge between science and mysticism, the observer effect in quantum physics. Particles exist in a field of probability until observed. Consciousness collapses potential into reality. Similarly, the universe presents possibilities to you constantly, but you must notice, attend, and resonate with the right signals to collapse them into your lived experience. Synchronicity is literally the universe responding to your attention, and your attention shapes which threads are pulled into reality. Yet most people fail because they confuse chaos with randomness. They assume that if something can't be explained, it is meaningless. They miss the story hidden in the patterns, the guidance embedded in the timing of events, the intelligence operating in the background of their life. Here's the empowering truth. You don't need to control the universe, you need to align with it. Once you learn to see the signals, the coincidences, the meaningful patterns, you step into a level of life navigation that feels intuitive, effortless, and magical, because it is. And it all begins with a subtle shift, noticing the micro moments. Did a stranger say something that triggered a realization? Did a number sequence make you pause? Did an unexpected meeting change the course of your day? These are your first letters in the language of synchronicity. As you begin to recognize them, the patterns expand, the connections deepen, and a sense of meaningful guidance emerges in every corner of life. The universe is speaking constantly. Most people miss it. You're about to learn to decode it. As you practice noticing, pay attention to emotional resonance. Jung emphasized that synchronicities are not just logical events. They carry meaning precisely because they resonate with your inner state. If something triggers awe, curiosity, or deep recognition, that is a flag pointing to significance. Emotion is the key that unlocks the pattern. The signal becomes visible when your inner vibration matches the intelligence of the field. This is why meditation, reflection, and self-awareness amplify synchronicity. They quiet the noise and sharpen the observer. And here is the invitation: start small. Today, notice one coincidence and pause to reflect. Journal it. Ask, what could this be pointing to? How does it relate to my current path, choices, or internal state? Over time, a web of interconnected events begins to emerge, revealing that life is not random. It is intelligent, responsive, and deeply personal. Each observation trains your mind to detect patterns faster, increasing your ability to navigate life with intuition, flow, and insight. And if this resonates with you, subscribing here ensures you'll continue exploring these hidden layers of reality, learning how to decode the subtle intelligence the universe constantly offers. Each video builds your capacity to notice, align, and participate in the hidden orchestration of your life. The story doesn't end here. In the next part, we will explore why most people fail to notice these signals, how subconscious patterns block synchronicity, and the simple, practical tools you can use to enter flow, align with the field, and start reading life like a map rather than a series of accidents. Once you understand the hidden barriers, decoding the universe's secret language becomes not just possible, but inevitable. Most people walk through life blind to the signals the universe is constantly sending. You may have experienced repeated numbers, unexpected meetings, or insights that seem too precise to be accidental, yet you dismiss them. Why? Because the mind, conditioned by routine, fear, and distraction, filters out subtle intelligence. Your attention, fragmented by stress, doubt, or busyness, is the gatekeeper to synchronicity. The universe is always speaking, but most people fail to listen coherently. The first hidden barrier is subconscious misalignment. Your inner beliefs, often invisible even to you, create a lens through which life is interpreted. If you believe the world is chaotic, unsafe, or random, the signals you receive are either ignored or rationalized away. Carl Jung described these as shadow patterns, the parts of ourselves we suppress or deny. If you are carrying resentment, fear, or scarcity, the field of synchronicity reflects that. Opportunities appear but go unnoticed. Guidance arrives but is misread. The universe responds to your internal state, not your conscious desire. Quantum physics reinforces this. The observer effect demonstrates that consciousness itself affects the collapse of potential into reality. If your attention is scattered or your inner frequency is inconsistent, the potential of synchronicity remains latent. Only when your focus aligns with awareness, curiosity, and openness does the field respond. Michael Talbot, in The Holographic Universe, suggests that every part of reality contains the whole, meaning that the patterns are always present, but your perception must tune to the correct frequency to recognize them. Distraction and routine are another major barrier. Most people operate on autopilot, reacting to external stimuli instead of observing inner resonance. Repeated numbers or coincidences are filtered out as ordinary, and the meaningful threads of life pass unnoticed. Synchronicity is subtle. It thrives in the space between action and reaction, in moments of pause, reflection, and stillness. The very act of slowing down, of paying conscious attention, creates a gateway for these messages to appear. Emotion is the key amplifier. Jung noted that meaningful coincidences carry an emotional charge: awe, curiosity, recognition. Without resonance, the signal is invisible. This is why practices like meditation, journaling, and conscious reflection are critical. They tune your nervous system, quiet mental chatter, and increase sensitivity to patterns. The ancient mystics, from the Vedanta sages to the Egyptian initiates, emphasized that perception is shaped by inner coherence. Only when the mind, heart, and attention resonate together does the universe speak in ways that are perceivable. But the modern world trains us in the opposite direction. We are taught to act, schedule, and control rather than pause and perceive. Subconscious conditioning creates a signal block, filtering out subtle nudges. You may have experienced this. An opportunity presents itself, and you dismiss it out of fear or disbelief. A repeated number flashes, and you ignore it. A stranger offers advice, and you rationalize it. These moments are not trivial. They are coded guidance. Ignoring them is like closing your ears in a conversation where the most important instructions are whispered. The good news is that synchronicity is trainable. You can become fluent in the universe's secret language by cultivating awareness, coherence, and attention. Begin by keeping a synchronicity journal. Record repeated numbers, coincidences, sudden insights, and unexpected events. Don't analyze immediately, simply notice. Over time, patterns emerge. Threads connect. Your inner state begins to recognize the intelligence behind events. You start to see that life is not random, but deeply orchestrated. Next, develop a practice of quiet observation. Take moments throughout your day to pause, breathe, and feel. Observe without judgment. Notice which events stir recognition, awe, or curiosity. These are the signals you are meant to decode. HeartMath research shows that coherent heart-brain communication enhances perception and intuition. When you quiet the mind and resonate emotionally, your nervous system becomes a receiver for subtle guidance. Synchronicity accelerates naturally when you are in this state. Subconscious alignment is the next frontier. Many patterns that block synchronicity are invisible. Scarcity, fear, guilt, or resentment creates energetic interference, clouding the clarity needed to perceive meaningful connections. Shadow work, reflection, and subtle energy practices dissolve these blocks. Every unresolved emotion, every denied pattern, distorts perception and interferes with guidance. Aligning your inner state is not just self-improvement, it is tuning the instrument that reads reality. Now let's consider timing. Synchronicity often emerges in pauses, delays, or the void, moments of uncertainty that feel uncomfortable. These gaps are not empty. They are incubation periods for insight, alignment, and preparation. Most people rush through these spaces, missing the signals. True mastery involves noticing the subtle patterns in what feels like nothingness. Repeated numbers, intuitive nudges, and chance encounters all arrive in these moments. The universe is orchestrating your experience, but you must attend to the hidden cues. Here is a practical method. When a repeated number appears or a seemingly random event occurs, pause and ask, "What is this pointing to?" Journal your impressions. Note emotions, memories, and associations. Observe if patterns repeat over days or weeks. Your subconscious begins to map the hidden structure of life, revealing the intelligence that underlies apparent randomness. Each observation strengthens perception and increases alignment with the field. Another key is cultivating resonant emotion. Synchronicity is amplified when the inner state is coherent, positive, and open. Fear and doubt block signal. Curiosity and appreciation amplify it. Even simple practices like gratitude, mindful breathing, or heart-focused meditation shift your inner vibration to a frequency that naturally attracts meaningful coincidences. You are not forcing reality. You are tuning your perception to see the guidance that is already present. And here is the hidden truth most people never learn. Synchronicity is a mirror of consciousness. Life reflects the state of your awareness, attention, and resonance. When your inner world is coherent, the outer world responds in kind. Repeated patterns, chance encounters, and uncanny insights are not anomalies. They are the natural reflection of alignment. The universe's language is always present. Fluency comes from practiced observation, emotional tuning, and conscious presence. The next step is simple but profound. Begin each day by setting an intention to notice synchronicity. Quiet the mind, open the heart, and remain alert for subtle signals. When patterns emerge, journal them. Reflect. Ask, how does this connect to my life? What message or guidance is being communicated? Over time, your perception sharpens, intuition deepens, and life begins to feel orchestrated rather than accidental. You move from reactive existence to conscious participation. And if you are drawn to exploring these hidden patterns more deeply, subscribing now will connect you with a community of conscious observers learning to decode life in real time. Each new video expands your ability to see, understand, and act on synchronicity, turning subtle coincidences into actionable guidance. But the story doesn't end here. In the final part, we will explore how to integrate synchronicity into daily life, transform repeated coincidences into guidance for relationships, creativity, and opportunity, and adopt a new identity, the conscious navigator of reality. Once you master this, life itself becomes a dialogue with the invisible intelligence that orchestrates every moment. Now that you understand what synchronicity is and why most people fail to notice it, it's time to step fully into the practice of living in alignment with the universe's secret language. This is where awareness transforms into mastery. The signals, coincidences, and repeated numbers that once felt random will begin to feel deliberate, intelligent, and actionable. You will learn to navigate life like a map, guided not by chance, but by attuned perception and conscious alignment. Begin by remembering that synchronicity is a mirror. Life is reflecting your inner state. When your thoughts, emotions, and attention are coherent, the universe responds in kind. Opportunities, insights, and relationships begin to fall into place effortlessly. But if alignment is lacking, the signals are obscured, subtle guidance missed, and patterns go unnoticed. The difference between someone living in flow and someone feeling lost lies entirely in their ability to tune into these hidden threads. Integration begins with daily practice. Start each morning by setting an intention to notice synchronicities. Quiet the mind for a few minutes. Breathe deeply. Place your awareness on your heart. This is not a ritual, it is calibration. You are telling the field, I am ready. I am present. I am observing. Then, as you go about your day, cultivate a heightened state of attention. Notice repeated numbers, unexpected encounters, intuitive nudges, and moments that stir awe or curiosity. These are your messages, the universe's language made tangible. To go deeper, begin to decode these signals. When a repeated number appears, pause. Ask, what could this be pointing to? When an uncanny encounter occurs, reflect. Why am I here? What lesson or opportunity is being highlighted? Journaling is invaluable. Each observation becomes data in your personal map of meaningful coincidence. Over time, connections emerge that are invisible to the untrained mind. You start to see the architecture of life, the intelligence operating beneath apparent randomness. Yet practical mastery of synchronicity is more than noticing, it's embodying alignment. The field responds to coherence, not desperation. If your inner state is fearful, scattered, or impatient, signals remain hidden. HeartMath research shows that emotional coherence amplifies intuition and perception. When your heart and mind are aligned, the nervous system becomes a receiver. Synchronicity then emerges naturally. You do not chase coincidences, they find you. Let's consider relationships. Every person who crosses your path is part of the energetic web you inhabit. Synchronicities often manifest as encounters, people showing up at the right time, offering guidance, collaboration, or reflection. Notice who resonates and who doesn't. Recognize patterns in interactions, repeated topics, mirrored emotions, or lessons that recur. The universe speaks through others. By observing carefully, you can see which relationships are opportunities for growth, alignment, or transformation. Opportunities and creativity are another dimension. Ideas may appear suddenly, solutions to challenges, flashes of inspiration, or projects that feel right. Synchronicity often works this way, collapsing probability into insight when your awareness is attuned. The practice is simple. Notice the idea, feel the resonance, and act when the alignment feels clear. In this way, the universe guides your creativity and action without force, creating a life where opportunities seem to appear magically, because they do, for those who can read the signals. Financial and practical abundance also emerges through synchronicity. Repeated numbers, coincidences, or unexpected encounters may highlight opportunities for income, collaboration, or new ventures. But the key is awareness combined with coherence. You must observe the signal, feel the resonance, and then move intentionally. Action grounded in alignment amplifies synchronicity. Acting from confusion or fear disrupts the pattern. Acting from clarity strengthens it. The universe does not reward effort alone. It responds to clarity of presence and coherence of being. The most profound transformation comes when synchronicity is fully integrated into identity. You are no longer a passive participant in life, subject to chance or circumstance. You become the conscious navigator of reality, attuned to subtle signals, fluent in the language of possibility, and aligned with the intelligence orchestrating your life. Repeated numbers, uncanny coincidences, and unexpected insights are no longer surprising. They are expected. You live in dialogue with reality, and your life begins to unfold with elegance and purpose. Integration also requires trust. Synchronicity often works in mysterious ways. Signals may appear as delays, paradoxes, or contradictions. Repeated numbers may recur without immediate explanation. Encounters may challenge expectations. But the field is always coherent. The intelligence is always present. By maintaining observation, patience, and alignment, you allow these signals to resolve naturally. Resistance clouds perception. Trust clears it. The universe communicates best through those who can observe without forcing meaning. Here is a practical nightly exercise. Before sleep, review the day's subtle patterns. Ask which encounters, numbers, or insights carried meaning. How did they resonate with your inner state? Record them. Feel gratitude for the guidance. Imagine the day ahead as a continuation of this conversation. Opportunities will appear, signals will emerge, and patterns will unfold. Over time, this practice trains your nervous system to recognize, interpret, and act upon synchronicity almost effortlessly. Now consider your life as a conversation with the universe. You are the conscious observer, the tuned receiver, and the active participant. Life is not chaotic, it is dialogue. Each coincidence is a word, each repeated number a sentence, each uncanny insight a paragraph in the ongoing story of your awakening. Those who ignore these signals miss the conversation entirely. Those who learn to read them begin to live intuitively, creatively, and aligned with a deeper intelligence than the mind alone can comprehend. And finally, embody the identity fully. You are the conscious navigator of reality. Your awareness decodes the hidden patterns. Your resonance amplifies the signal. Your presence collapses possibility into tangible experience. You are fluent in the secret language of the universe. Relationships, opportunities, insights, and abundance are no longer chance. They are guided, orchestrated, and intelligible. Every day becomes a dialogue, every choice a participation in the unfolding intelligence of reality. As you integrate this practice, subtle yet undeniable changes occur. Doors open without effort, coincidences align with timing, repeated numbers guide decisions, and insights arrive with clarity. Your life becomes a co-created field, where intention, awareness, and resonance collapse probability into presence naturally. You are no longer at the mercy of circumstance. You are a coherent observer, an aligned participant, a conscious architect. If you feel called to deepen this practice, Subscribing here will connect you to a community learning to notice, interpret, and act upon these hidden signals. Engage in the comments. Share the synchronicities you've noticed today. Even articulating these moments amplifies the field, reinforcing your ability to perceive and align. Life is meant to be read, decoded, and navigated. Synchronicity is the guide. Alignment is the key, and your conscious attention is the bridge. The story doesn't end here. From this moment, begin noticing, aligning, and decoding. Observe the repeated numbers, the uncanny encounters, and the flashes of insight. Reflect, journal, and act with coherence. Your life is no longer a random series of events. It is a living, intelligent dialogue, and you are fluent in its secret language. The universe has always been speaking. Now, you are finally listening.